Hi, welcome back to the On the Daily podcast. This is your host, Danielle. In this episode, I am talking all about discernment, what it is, how to use it, when does it apply, when should it not apply. And it's something that's been coming up a lot in my world. And so I wanted to give an episode all about it. So if feeling like you need to know when to lean into mentorship, when to lean out, when you need to learn to um, regulate your emotions and when you don't. And just if you feel like you're always in this battle of wondering what is the right answer, then this episode is for you. So keep listening. Coming up on June 1st, I have a new masterclass, and that masterclass is called The Foundations of a Six-Figure Business. I mean, the six-figure milestone, like, oh, I made $100,000 in my business. That's such a big one. And it's such an exciting milestone. And I think every time I've hit 100,000 in any of my businesses, it's a moment of, okay, I think we have something here. And, it's exciting. And, everyone thinks it's so hard to get to that $100,000 mark. And, if you have a 10K a month business, you have over a six-figure business. So what I want to teach in this masterclass is really these like foundational steps that I think need to happen in order to build that six-figure business quickly and in a way that's going to feel really good. And some of these things I utilized when I was building, some of them I didn't and wish I had, some of them I did and I didn't actually need. And so I wanted to do a masterclass where I can provide those pieces, those like very valuable pieces, like, okay, great. Like an email list. I know I need to build one, but like, how do I build one? And like, what's the ratio of like free offerings versus paid offerings? And like, when do I raise my prices? And how big should my product suite be? And, how do I build a network that's going to pay the prices that I need them to pay or that I'm, charging? All of these things are foundations for a six-figure business. And also, like, who do I have to become to be a six-figure earner? And that's a big one. And so I'm going to do a masterclass all about this. And you're going to learn all of these foundations and why they're important and how to apply them. And I hope that you join us. If you want to be a part of that masterclass, that price goes up very soon. It's currently on sale for $111. That will go up to $199. But for now, you can get it for 111. And if this is not your first masterclass, so let's say you've like joined a few masterclasses of mine and you're like, wow, I have done a few of these now. The right answer for you is probably the Society. The Society is my masterclass membership. So it's an all access pass to all of my masterclasses, and it's $97 a month. So every month I do a masterclass at least once. And all of those masterclasses are added to this on-demand platform, as well as you get access to the live ones as they happen. So if a constant drip of trainings and valuable content is something that you're searching for and something that you're ready for in your business, right? Like if you're scaling to six figures, you're definitely ready for a constant drip of coaching, and so I think if this is you and this is speaking to you, then the Society is probably a good home for you. And it's super easy. You just pay $97 a month. That's an auto pay. And every month when a new masterclass comes out, you automatically get the link to it. You automatically are added to it. And you always have a link to access all of the on-demand library of masterclasses that have already happened. So that's $97. Or you can do the a la carte masterclass, which is $111. Totally your choice. Live your truth. Exciting either way. Discernment. What a word. What a word, what a time. I never had a relationship with this word until I was kind of playing in the realm of bigger money, bigger choices, bigger issues. You know that song, like more money, more problems? That is exactly life. Like the bigger business you have, the more problems you have, the more discernment you have to have. And so what I realized when I started to have my own discernment was like, oh, I should have had this from the beginning. Like this should have been a skill I developed earlier on. And so we're going to talk about discernment. And I actually think the number one issue that I see with entrepreneurs today is the lack of discernment. It's the lack of being able to regulate their emotions. It's the lack of being able to take a step back from their business and go, oh, why isn't this offer selling? Or, oh, why is my network not growing? Or, oh, why do I not feel aligned with this? Or, oh, why, why did that product sell? That's another piece of discernment that nobody has, is like they'll have a really good month or two. And, I'll have some clients in the past that have come to me and they're like, I've had a few really, really great months. And then all of a sudden it just like went away and I don't know how to get it back. And I'm like, well, that's because you didn't discern for yourself as to what made it successful in the first place. And so this key piece of discernment, which is being able to like look at all the options and come to the conclusion, is such an integral part of business. And I think without it, you're not going to scale or maintain a successful brand. Examples of discernment that I think need to be had in this entrepreneurship space. Let's say that you just feel like you're constantly like banging your head against a wall, and you're constantly like batting zero, and your offers aren't selling, and it feels like a lot of work, and you're draining yourself, and you feel like you're spending more money, but you're not making any money. The discernment piece that you need to have here is by taking a step back and going, okay, what is actually happening here? Right? What am I spending money on? Is it money? Am I actually spending money or am I investing money? Why did that offer not sell? Was it because I actually wasn't selling it enough? Was it because my network isn't big enough? Was it a technical reason why it's not selling? Was it just not a good offer? That's usually not it, by the way. Like, your offer just not being good is not usually the case. I would say never has that been the case. I'm not saying it can't be the case, but as far as I'm concerned, most of the time why an offer doesn't sell is because you weren't selling it or because you don't have a large network. And so you're focusing on selling an offer to an audience that isn't hot, right? But the ability to discern that is really powerful and can really make a huge difference in your business. Because imagine this, like you have a launch, it's a big launch, you're really excited about it, and it flops. Being able to take a step back out of that without making it a story, without making that flop have anything to do with you, but really just an opportunity to discern for yourself why it didn't sell. And then you go, oh, it didn't sell because I was selling a course for new, or I was selling a wellness package for people who are just starting their wellness journey. And I was charging $15,000 for it. And like the market wasn't there. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. So now maybe when I repackage it, maybe I'm going to take some things out of it so it's not as big. And then I'm actually going to lower the price to kind of match the market that I'm actually selling to. Great. That piece of discernment is going to make or break your next sale. Another example of discernment that I see that I see really, really needed is, I've had clients before, and I offer Voxer to a lot of my private clients. And I've had private clients in the past that will just show up in my Voxer chat, like just telling me all about their day, the ups and the downs and all the things, and using it more as like a diary than a coaching space. And to be fair, I used to tell people that that's how I wanted them to use it. And then since then I've changed, and I've been very clear about how this is like a coaching space. And to be able to, instead of going into Voxer and leaving like a 7-minute long voice memo, or if maybe you don't work with Voxer, maybe with your mentor or with a coach or whoever you have, maybe it's like you get on the phone, maybe it's a Voxer chat, maybe it's a Slack channel, maybe you see them once a week. I don't know. But if you're leaving like 8-minute long voice memos, chances are that coach is not going to hear the meat and the potatoes of what you actually are asking them. And then you're actually not going to get the coaching that you came to them for. So where discernment can really help in this situation is being able to take a step back and be like, okay, how am I feeling today? I'm not feeling very good. Why am I not feeling very good? What happened? Is it my feelings that I have, or am I like feeling someone else's feelings? I don't know. but being able to discern for yourself and like kind of regulate your body a little bit and regulate your emotions is going to be really, really powerful for you, because then when you actually do come into the chat, your message can be like a minute long and you can be like, I'm not feeling good today. I've realized it's because of X, Y, and Z. And here's the support I need from you as my coach. Now you actually receive the coaching that you really need and that you desire and that you, have come to your coach for. So that's a real big piece of discernment. And then also discernment is really just like being able to tell, like, is what I'm feeling today? Because we all wake up in bad moods. Like every entrepreneur has days where you're like, I'm in a bad mood. And being able to be like, is this mine that I'm carrying or is this someone else's? That's discernment. That's huge in business. I just think that people don't realize how much we wear other people's emotions. Like we wear other people's emotions so frequently and we think that we don't. And so then what happens is we'll find ourselves like in a bad mood, or we'll find ourselves like really stressed, or we'll have anxiety or whatever it is that we feel. And we'll think it's ours. And so then we try to fix it and we create stories around it, right? So a perfect example is, have you ever been around a group of people for a long period of time that just complained, right? Complained. Or have you ever been in a situation that was just like a high energy? And then you get home and you're super drained, or you feel like a little frustrated, or if you were around a bunch of people who were complaining about everything, and then you remove yourself from that situation and you like almost just feel like nothing's working, or you feel really stressed, that's probably because you're quite literally wearing the emotions of people that you were around. And if you don't have discernment as a practice in your life and in your business, especially, what will happen is you'll get into this space of like, oh, I'm so irritated, I'm so annoyed. And then you'll sit down to work and you'll be irritated and annoyed. And then you'll bring that into your business. And then you'll start, looking at your financials, you'll start looking at an offer, or you'll start, kind of judging yourself or critiquing yourself, and critiquing yourself from that space is never good. So where discernment really gets to come in is you get to go, wow, I'm feeling a little bit like frustrated right now. Is this my emotion that I'm actually like, is it my frustration, or am I feeling someone else's frustration? And usually what happens is if we're feeling the emotions of people around us, oh my gosh, we wear it heavier than they were wearing it. So like if we're feeling the frustrations of people around us, like we are literally going to feel it almost more frustrated than they were, which is so fucked up, but it is what it is. And so discernment, being able to go, ooh, is this mine? No, I don't think it is. Okay, well then what can I do to clear this energy from my body? Maybe it's screaming into a pillow. Maybe it's moving your body. Maybe it's going on a walk. Maybe it's working out. Maybe it's having sex. Maybe it's singing. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's doing some tapping or some shaking movements that, work to kind of move energy through the body. But without the ability to discern, you're going to think that it's yours. And then everything about your business is going to be a problem. And you're going to start to just like judge every part of what you do. And that is why I see a lot of entrepreneurs quit, or why I see a lot of entrepreneurs not be successful, because they have no ability to discern what's theirs and what's not. And they constantly find themselves in these like depressive states, even though that what they're feeling isn't even theirs to feel. They've just taken it on and like worn it like a cape. So discerning your emotions is a really, really big one. The other one is like, I guess, discernment for like what to listen to and what not to listen to. And this kind of is the same about like taking on emotions or not. But let's say you're in the coaching space. Like if you're a coach, and you are following other coaches online and you see that this coach is doing that and this coach is doing that and this coach is doing that, and then you're wondering like, should I be implementing that, should I be doing that? And you're just like chasing these like shiny new feelings. And this is why I see people will coach hop. They'll go in like a container for 3 months and then they'll move to another coach, and they'll do 3 months and then they'll move to another coach, or they'll do like 6 months with one coach and then 6 months with another. And it's like, what that tells me, when people are coach hopping like that, or they're looking to other people to decide like what's the next shiny thing they should offer in their business, what that tells me is you don't have discernment. Because if you have discernment, what discernment will do, and what discernment did for me in this case, is I stopped looking for the next shiny thing, especially when it came to like who I followed online. Because every coach is going to do something so different. So when I really started to like follow coaches in the coaching industry, I saw everybody was doing something so different. And, there are different people, there's like different groups that do things similarly. And I found myself at first like trying to like emulate other people's businesses when really I didn't want to actually run that type of business, because I was trying to build something different, or my energy worked in a different way. And so developing discernment in my business was so powerful, because I was able to go look at other coaches and be like, wow, that's so cool that they're doing that. That's not going to work for my business right now, but like that's really awesome. And I respect that. Or when it came to like my own mentorship, it was like, okay, I don't really like need my mentor all the time, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to go and find a new mentor. It's like discerning that it's not always going to be activating to work with a mentor, especially in a high ticket long-term container, right? Like you can't always be like activated and expanded every single day by your mentor, especially after you've been with them a while. Like that's not the point of mentorship. What the point of mentorship is being able to walk alongside your mentor and like really get a look into their life and their process and ask questions based on like the future. Because if you're, if like my clients who work with me, I'm running a business like that, not the exact business, but the success of my business is what they're all striving for. So being able to ask me questions based on where I'm at and where they're going is really helpful for them, even if it's not always super exciting and activating and like, oh my gosh, we're trying something new and we're doing all these big things. So being able to discern and be like, well, yeah, like right now, what I need out of this container is just to ask questions based on where I'm going. Right. So that's a huge discernment piece. But I would say like the biggest benefit to developing discernment is really just to own your own emotions, to own your own choices, to own your own feelings, to own your own direction. If you don't have discernment, you're always looking outside of yourself for the answers. You're always projecting. Oh my gosh, you're projecting your stuff onto everyone else. Like all the time, and just questioning everyone and having a problem with everyone and making it a story always. Always, 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 always. I see this a lot in the network marketing space with coaches or mentors, where somebody will choose to like do something different than they are. And it just becomes this big thing because that mentor has no ability to discern. And so they are like, it comes off as judgment, or it comes off as manipulation, or it comes off as shame. And if people just developed a certain level of discernment, it could be like, oh, well, that person's doing something different. That's okay, because that may work for them. And that's really awesome. I'm going to continue to do what I do and trust that like the skills that I have and the power that I hold is also really powerful. And that's discernment. So the point of this is to develop that muscle, right? I think discernment is a muscle. And I think, I have conversations a lot about this inside of my mastermind. And, my clients will come to me with questions, and I usually say, well, what do you think? Or how do you feel? Or how do you think you can come to a solution here? And what that's encouraging my clients to do is to really build that level of discernment, so that they're not constantly being like, I'm in a bad mood, meh, everything sucks, or oh, I don't know what to choose, so I'm just gonna like freeze, or oh, I'm gonna look outside of myself and I'm always just gonna be chasing the next thing. So then I'm not the person who like has consistency or stay power, because I'm just constantly like jumping to the next big idea. The ability to develop that discernment is to be able to be like, I am growing at my own pace, and I'm trusting my process, and I'm trusting my timeline, and all is well. So it's a really important thing. And I honestly think it's the number one thing you need to develop a strong sense of if you want to be a successful business owner and entrepreneur and brand builder. I hope this was helpful. As always, if you go to Apple Podcasts and you write me a review and leave me a 5-star rating, screenshot that, send it to my team at hey@daniellemcclary.com. They will give you a discount off of my courses or my higher ticket containers. And if human design is your thing, and you've been wanting to implement more human design into your business, Intuition Authority Power, which is my sold out human design course, is coming back for round 2. We are going to do the second edition of it, and that will begin July 1st, but we are currently in pre-sale, and until June 1st, you can get that pre-sale discount of $699. After that, it goes up. And that, I think the price point of that ends at about little over $1,000. So you can save quite a bit of money right now. And if human design has been your thing and you want to interject a little bit more energetics and intuition into your business, then this is the course for you. And we will begin on that July 1st. So slide into my DMs, Danielle_on_the_daily, if you want that discount, or you can click the link in our show notes. And we'll be back next week with another episode. Bye.